I want to start off with the first question, just to get things rolling. Without using the word Democrat or Republican in your answer, what's wrong with Congress? Why is nothing getting done? And again, don't use Republican or Democrat in the answer. We'll start with the Congressman first.
I've been there for 10 years, and I have seen the bipartisan comity that used to characterize the Congress deteriorate each of those 10 years. And I would tell you that the last 2 years are the worst. And I'm not going to use the word Democrat or Republican, but I am going to say that the influence of the 75 to 80 new members who were elected this year who were supported by the Tea Party has been a difficult transition for the Congress to accommodate. And not just on the majority side of the aisle, but also on the minority side of the aisle. And what has happened is that we now have a significant number of people, and by the way, I've become friendly with many of them, and you know, I understand and respect their passion, but they believe that compromise is a four-letter word. They believe that compromise is an abandonment of principle. They believe that compromise is an expression of weakness. And I will just say we are a country of 300-some million people that values freedom of speech, that values freedom of expression, that has a history of, that is a diverse place economically, geographically, socially. You cannot govern a country of 300 million people without some willingness to compromise and find common ground. Now we have a great opportunity coming up when we return from the election, and that is to deal with the fiscal cliff. The only way we're going to deal with the fiscal cliff is if we come to the table with a willingness to find common ground, and I'm hopeful that the stakes being as high as they are will create the right environment for that spirit of compromise and collegiality to once again govern the way Congress operates.
And I think that both parties need to take the blame, and likewise, the only way we're going to solve these problems are by working together. I think there's also an issue of people eventually becoming out of touch with what's going on in their districts and in the country. That's why I'm a strong believer in term limits. I don't believe that we should have professional politicians. I mean, some of these people literally have to be dragged out or carried out at the end of their terms. It always reminds me of that old commercial with the roaches, you know, the Roach Motel. They check in and they never check out. And I think an institutionalized politicians is not a positive, because I think you need the interchange of ideas. You need new people coming in, bringing in new blood, new perspective, and I think if you know that you can only be in Congress for a limited period of time, that might change your behavior. I think also the art of the deal is non-existent in Congress, and as a business person, I know any good deal is a deal where each party gets something, but each party leaves something on the table. And because so few people in Congress have worked in the private sector, I'm not sure they recognize and realize how to do that. And we're suffering as a result of that, because this is, even regardless of what happens in November, unless there's some giant sea change, you're going to still have a situation where Republicans and Democrats are going to have to work together. And neither party is going to be able to jam down the throats of the other party what their agenda is. So that's going to require deal making and compromise, and I just don't know if the people there know how to do it.